Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham, and welcome to my show. And today we have a great caller who sent in his Excel spreadsheet of all of his expenses. Now, the reason he's on here is because his expenses are so good. This is an example of exactly what everyone needs to do. Like, this guy has goals, even for me. We're just going to get into it. And as a bonus, I'm going to link to his Excel spreadsheet in the description so you guys can follow along with this. We're going to go over his questions, exactly what his issues are, and just watch the video and hit the like button, and let's get into it. So, Josiah, welcome to the Stephan Show. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me, Graham. Doing good.
You got it. Cool. What's up?
Not much. So I wanted to talk to you about some personal finances. I sent you over some stuff earlier. Basically, just a little background on myself. So I'm a operations management consultant. So I work with small startups, technology startups in the Atlanta and Charlotte area. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And within the last 12 months, I've been able to triple my income while drastically reducing a lot of my spending. A lot of it is due to watching a lot of finance videos. I didn't have a lot of people that I could actually use for that kind of stuff growing up, or even in my later 20s. So I've been learning it slowly over just like the last 2 years rather.
Awesome.
So I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that I've got working, areas that I'm trying to save in, and then future investments. So I thought I'd talk to you about it.
Yeah, let's get into it. By the way, I'm looking at your budget projection. I got to say, do you mind if I share this, if I put a screenshot? The reason why is because it's so good that I want you to be an example to everyone of exactly what you guys need to do. If you're not doing this already, you're messing up. You're screwing up right now because this is how it's done. Do you mind if I share this? Just like a screenshot.
No, absolutely. Okay. Let me look at this from you too.
Yeah, of course.
It's definitely been a labor of love. It took a long time. It's definitely not something I did in my spare time for fun.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much plug and play now. I can even give you just a template version of this that's pretty plug and play if you want to give it to your listeners. It's definitely helped me out a lot.
Yeah, you know what? If you do, I'm actually going to link to that in the description because this is really good. I mean, I always talk about using mint.com, and that works, but this is just going to be so much more accurate. I've noticed Mint sometimes has like double charges, and like if you write yourself a check to another account, it counts it as income, which is incorrect. This is phenomenal, man. So You're doing an amazing job so far. What are your questions? Because it seems like you're just already doing so well.
Yeah, so first one, this is coming up pretty soon. I'm actually getting married in October.
Congratulations.
And you probably saw my budget. I've been budgeting for the honeymoon for a number of months now. I'm pretty close to paying off the honeymoon and everything. But we're going to be doing what couples do, which is moving into a place together after we get married.
Okay.
And I just want to talk to you about like how should I budget for that. Right now I live with 2 roommates, which is a huge reason why I've been able to keep my expenses down so low. We would like to get a place for ourselves, but is that wise? Is that something I should be thinking about doing, or should I think about getting a complex or a unit with an extra bedroom and try and...
So I'm just curious, are you guys living together right now?
No.
I think this is less of a financial issue and more of just a relationship issue, and see what she thinks. I'd bring her because now she's an equal partner, and she has a say in this. I don't know how she feels about living with a roommate, and if that's something she wants to have, or if listen, I think if she's on board and she loves the whole frugality aspect, then I have a feeling if someone like you is marrying her and you're like this with your finance, I have a feeling that she's good with finance. I can't see you like marrying someone who's just like, no, we got to get the 5-bedroom mansion. It's just us. Like, she doesn't seem like that. I would talk to her about this. If she's comfortable with you getting like a 3-bedroom place and renting out one of the rooms to to someone you trust, and that's okay with both of you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I would definitely explore that option. It could save you a decent amount of money, even if you get like $700 for a bedroom, an extra bedroom or something like that. You'll make some money on that. And that could go towards your both your savings and your future together. I would talk to her though. I would talk to her and see what she's comfortable with.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, while we're on the subject of frugality, I mentioned to you earlier about tiny houses. I don't know what the real estate market is on tiny houses where you're at.
I love the idea. If LA started zoning for tiny houses and you can get a 400 square foot little mini house somewhere on like the top of a hill, like you guys know me, I would be there in a second. I would buy so many of those little tiny homes. I'd rent them out. Right. I love it. I think it's so cool. My only issue with tiny homes might be the resale value, in that it doesn't appeal to a very wide demographic. When I think real estate, I kind of think, what's going to get me the best bang for the buck? Where's the most upside? How much can I rent this out for? I don't necessarily think of it as like, oh, what am I? It sounds terrible to say, but I don't really think like, where am I going to enjoy living? I think like, oh, I'm going to enjoy living wherever I can make the most amount of money possible in the long term. So every place that I've bought, I've always thought resale value, rental value, upside potential, how much is this going to be worth in a few years? That's always what I've thought, and that's been my priority. So, but I love the whole tiny house thing. So I would go for it. I would be a little concerned about resale value, but I think if you're planning to live in it for a certain amount of time, that it makes sense to do this, and maybe you can rent it out, or I'm not sure what the regulations are like that. I would certainly look into it. I have no problems with that, and I like it.
Another question I had for you, just regarding future savings. As you can see in my budget sheet, I've got everything pretty laid out as far as what I'll be saving and spending on for probably like the next 12 months. I've got it bracketed out. And I wanted to talk to you more about, so I just recently started investing in a Vanguard because of the videos that you put out and the ones that Nate Bryan started putting out. And I didn't even realize this until recently that you could actually set them on a drip, basically, to where it actually pulls money out every single week. Similar to how Coins works, to where every single week it'll take an amount out. And I actually started timing it right around the time when I start getting invoice payments each week or every other week. So that's helped me a lot. Are there other areas you think besides a Vanguard index fund that I should be putting money in? I do have a Roth and IRA set up.
I was about to say a Roth IRA. You can look into a 401k. Depending on your tax bracket and where you're going to be putting. The thing is I'm kind of mixed on a 401k. I like it, but I also believe that if you're planning to, like, my choice, I really want to retire with more money than I'm making right now. I know that sounds crazy, but that's like my plan. I want to build up rental income so high that I make more money. So for me, it's a 401k. Like, I believe I'm going to be taxed more on my money in the future than I am right now. So I put a minimal amount in a 401k just to say that I've done it, just to kind of hedge my bet there. It might be worth it for you to look into. Other than that, I mean, you're doing the Roth IRA. You're doing you're doing Vanguard. You're saving up for a house. I mean, you're doing everything correctly. I wish I could give you better advice. I wish you were messing up so I can yell at you, but I can't. There's nothing that I can be upset at here. The only two things that kind of stood out to me, and I'll just point them out. It's not a big deal. If I'm going to critique anything, spending a lot of money at the barber and a decent amount of money on drinks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get the drinks if you're going out with buddies and stuff like that, but still $1,000 a year on drinks. You could just pregame at home, or this sounds terrible, man, but oh man, I'm just gonna go and say it. I've just you can sneak in like a water bottle, fill it with whatever you want, and in most places they don't care, especially if you're going with your wife or like someone has a purse, throw it in the purse, just a little water bottle. You can fill that with whatever drink you want and enjoy. Then go to the bar, get a glass of water. And then if you save that difference, if you go out once a week and you save that over the next 60 years, you just saved $1.5 million worth of future money by doing that. But for real though, I mean, sure. I've done that. So like that's one of the ways I save for drinks. Or if you don't feel like going that crazy, what you can just do is, oh, man, I mean, now I'm just giving away all my secrets here. You just pregame. You time it perfectly that you pregame right before going to the bar or going out with friends or whatever. So that way, when you show up, you got your buzz. You got your buzz. Right. You're there already, and then the night you just taper off. That's what you do. That's what you do if you want to save money right there.
Yeah.
No $1,000 a year on drinks, man. That's Roth IRA money.
Yeah, it is. And especially when you look at that overview at the end of the month or at the end of the year, it definitely adds up. I'm surprised I didn't hear any feedback from you on the coffee. Usually you give people a hard time about coffee.
Yeah, $243 a year. The average American spends $1,100 a year on coffee. I learned this yesterday, by the way. That's an actual statistic. And another actual statistic is that people aged 18 to 34 spend about $1,300 a year on coffee. So in comparison to that, you're doing great on the coffee.
I think I spent that on my laptop. I bought a big purchase. That's insane.
See, that's how much. And another horrifying statistic is that I think it was 1/3 of Americans aged 18 to 35 spent more on coffee than they did on their retirement.
Wow.
Yeah, 1/3. 35% of people. It's terrible. So in comparison to that, like now that I know that, this isn't that bad.
Thanks. I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Yeah, but otherwise, man, I would say you're doing an amazing job. I have very little to critique on this. I think you're on the right track. You're doing everything correctly. I would just continue doing exactly what you're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. Keep up the work. That's all you got to do. Is just basically do exactly this, do exactly what you're doing, and don't screw it up. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Is just don't mess this up.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Sounds good, man. Well, keep me posted with everything, and thanks for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell Randy
Appreciate
that day.
I will.
Are you taking him with you when you go to Hawaii?
Oh, man, maybe one day. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Thanks.
Yeah, you too. I'll send you over the links for this stuff once I fix a template for the budget, and I'll send you the links for the other tools I use because really those have been a huge help as much as my tool has.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, Graham.
You too. Bye. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, I will link to that Excel spreadsheet down below in the description if you guys want to check that out or just use it for your own finances. I highly recommend doing that. Make sure to always subscribe, notification bell, like button, add me on Instagram. I post pretty much daily, yada, yada, yada. You guys know the drill by now. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and until next time.